This video could be the turning point for you. You've put in all the effort, you've got the skills, you've got the network, but you're struggling to hit that $50,000 a month. Well, I'm here to tell you that is likely because you don't have the right mindset towards sales. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 3 most important things that you need to do to change your mind so that you can start to achieve those 5-figure months. And before I reveal the 3 things that are going to change your situation today, I'm going to give you a recap on my previous video on how to close multiple deals using this simple agency framework. So just to give you another overview of how to close with confidence, you're going to follow this simple agency framework that we discussed in my previous video. And it starts by filling the diary, as you could see there. Now we begin with the introduction and rapport building. This is where you introduce yourself and allow your prospect to introduce themselves, and we create some small talk to build rapport. We then move on to framing. Now, framing is where we set clear expectations for the call, we provide a brief agenda, and we explain a time frame. We can also assume the sale here. Then we move on to the discovery stage. This is where you dive deep into the business's pain points, and once you have a clear understanding, we probe even more so we can really understand what that business is struggling with. We then move on to the goals. This is where does that business want to be over the next 3 months, and we bridge that gap. And we bridge that gap by pitching a viable solution to the pain points. And you're also going to get hit with some objections, which you're going to be able to handle objections confidently by following the framework in the previous video. And then we are going to close and secure that payment. So we're going to close the deal, and we're also going to CTA the onboarding call with outlined deliverables. So hopefully this gives you a bit of a recap that we're going to repeat daily to close more deals. So the first one that I want to talk to you guys about is the worth barrier and why it's stopping you from achieving success. And the first point is that you are not charging enough for your clients. Now, most agency owners, when they first start out, have this limiting belief that they feel like charging $500 per month is going to help, but it actually hinders them and puts their clients off. You also don't think that you're going to be able to deliver because you don't have experience. And again, this is another limiting belief, but it's going to force you to be able to deliver for a client once you sign one. And you target broke businesses. And if you're targeting broke businesses, they do not have the revenue to be able to pay you for your service. And you think it's easier to close businesses that are doing less? I promise you it is not. So let's move on to the second point. So the second point that I want to talk about is the fact that confidence sells. If you truly believe in your product or service, the client will too. And even if you haven't got experience, you need to act like you have done this before. So for those of you guys that are just starting out, I want you to adopt that mindset that you are a 6-figure entrepreneur or even a 7-figure entrepreneur. It is going to give you that delusional mindset that you need to be able to succeed. Leads on nicely to acting with conviction. Now, conviction forces you to commit fully to what you're saying. So if you're selling a product, you need to commit fully with conviction. And last but not least, we're going to visualize success, right? Your brain cannot distinguish between real, imagined, and experiences. So that means you need to start visualizing where you want to be. How are you going to get there? And that is going to give you that confidence on a sales call to be able to close that deal. And the last point that I want to talk about is cultivating detachment, which helps you reframe the sales dynamic. And the first point here really is overcoming that fear of rejection, because fear of rejection genuinely kills sales individuals. And you want to start looking at no's as data sets, right? A no isn't a failure, it's clarity. It saves time and gets you so much closer to that deal. And the next point is the law of large numbers, right? No single deal makes or breaks your success. And the more calls equals the more cash. So I don't know if you've seen my previous video, but keep your pipeline full so you never rely on one deal.